Inktober is an annual monthly art challenge that takes place in the month of October to better improve one's ink skills. Digital, traditional, doesn't matter. Each year, there is an official prompts list provided by the official Inktober website that artists have the option to use to launch their inking journey. You're not obligated to use the list, but it's nice to see other people's interpretations on the same prompt. It's part of the fun. Inktober has been around for like 14 years now. I can't believe it's been 14 years. I could have sworn it started in 2013. But ever since I found out about it, I always wanted and tried for many years to not only participate during the month, but to complete the challenge. And after so many tries and so many failures, back in 2023, I finally completed the goal by drawing one inked comic page a day, resulting in a fully completed comic by the end of October. I'm not doing that shit again. Daily challenges are draining. People challenge themselves every day. From the perspective of visual arts, to draw something new and engaging every day takes a lot of time and a lot of brain power. Most people don't have the time to draw because of work or school, and their brain power is mostly drained by the time they get home. That's what it was like for me back in high school and even after I landed my first job after college. And Inktober isn't the only intensive art challenge out there, nor is it the only one that I've participated in. But every time I couldn't complete it, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like my skills would never develop because I wasn't making the most grandiose of drawings like everyone else. And I wanted views. And that's a big reason why I tried in the first place. Don't look at me like that. Gabriel Piccolo is one of the most well-known artists on the internet. In this day and age, he's probably best known for his High School Teen Titans or his Icarus and the Sun. But I know him as 365 Days of Doodles. Back in 2014, he took over DeviantArt with his goal of drawing every day to fight his procrastination. And even after its completion, he has done challenge after challenge after challenge. Gabriel is a different breed. I am not Gabriel. See, these challenges, besides helping you develop your skills, can also help you grow a following, and of course everyone wants a little bit of clout, especially an artist. More eyes on your work will give you more opportunities to further your career, or even make your career. And challenges like these can be a gateway. I attempted to draw every day back in 2021. I even made a new Instagram account to catalog it. I didn't have any prompts or anything like that, but I knew I always wanted to paint like Cynic's design, and my human anatomy could do some touching up, so I combined the two. I often combine two things. And if I'm remembering correctly, each week focused on a particular body part, and each study I think was 10 minutes. I think I spent all of March just doing skull studies. But by the end of April, the burnout was so bad. At one point, I was literally just drawing scribbles, and I didn't draw again for, I think, 3 months. It's all there on my Instagram, link below. Going through that, I gained a lot more respect for Piccolo, first of all. But the worst part was I didn't get any traction for any of my posts, which is nothing new to me. I've been posting arts online since 2010, and I've never gotten any decent exposure. Well, not until now. But this time, I was posting every day, and that's what all the other big artists were doing when they were blowing up, so what was the problem? Not gonna lie, I was pretty depressed about it, and that really did not help my burnout. I'm not a fool. I mean, I am, but I know that whatever challenge you do is supposed to help you get better first and foremost. And I've also completed challenges outside of the internet. I've done daily hand studies for a month once, and I've practiced painting portraits in acrylics for a week another time. And I did really try to get better at painting with those dailies, but I gained experience, I'll say that, but not in the way I thought I would. Here's a big thing that I learned that I wish I knew years ago. Repetition for the sake of repetition is not conducive to proper retention. What I mean is, just because you're doing something and redoing something doesn't necessarily mean you'll be better at it. I still can't paint, at least not the way I would like, and drawing hands is still as daunting as before I drew only hands for 30 days. I wasn't retaining any information because I wasn't focused on retaining any information because my focus lied in just finishing the challenge. I was a pretty good student growing up. I got A's and B's, mostly A's, and I was put on honor roll more than a few times. But if you were to ask me about something specific I learned in, say, living environments or 9th grade science class, a class that I passed with at least an A, I cannot answer you, and I couldn't even answer you back then after that final test was finished because I only held on to the information long enough to take the test. It's also because I took the class while I was in 8th grade and I learned that DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Yes, I'm a nerd. I know. Shut up. This has been my personal issue with dailies. I get so caught up in trying to just finish that once I can't replicate what I just did. And I recognized that about halfway through March 2021, to be fair. And I redirected my focus from completing a challenge to learning how to learn. But then I got burnout almost immediately after, and that really messed up my momentum. Now fast forward to 2023, and completing Inktober was a success for the very first time. The time in between, I was drawing at my own pace, experimenting with new methods and whatnot. What's funny is Inktober did not help me with inking, but I did learn quite a few things from it. The biggest one being the dish is fake. I don't know about you, but when I hear daily challenge, I expect people to do the thing on that day. And make no mistake, that is exactly what I did last year. Maybe I was late a few minutes sometimes, but I did everything the day of, and I followed the official prompt list too. Come to find out, a lot of people draw in advance. They make their intricate little something, and then they get to inking on October 1st. Not that I'm mad or anything, by the way. Work smarter, not harder, right? And it makes sense. It's Inktober, not Drawtober.
Really, nigga?
The other thing that I learned is that I can make a comic in 30 days, which means I can make a graphic novel in about 60 to 90 days. At least if I purely focus on the artwork. Cast, that's what I decided to name the comic from last year, but it's completely wordless and it's off the dome in terms of storyline. I tried adding some text to it as per a friend's suggestion, but I didn't really like it. The triadic colored beings you see tormenting people throughout were designs I found in an old sketchbook, and I just decided to repurpose them. Them having no speech and it being Halloween time just makes the comic feel a bit more spooky. And it's free to read, but it's free to watch. There's no words, but I documented it all online. I have a playlist of the video version on here, and I'll link the Twitter thread in the description below too. However, if you want to learn more about the characters or just want to show some support, I am selling it for $2 on my website, breedtoshop.com. Link is also in the description. I added a character index and I revised a couple of the pages just to make it a little nicer and better support the story. Each page took roughly 5-6 hours to make. Not this one. This time-lapse you're watching took 12. Yeah, I know. I told you those hands were a killer and the burnout was hell. But that's what I set out to use this challenge for. Not to learn or practice any inking, but to see if I could complete it, first of all, and make a completed comic. I have a bunch of ideas, but I get too in my head when I'm trying to make a story, so I used Inktober to get out of my head and just let go. What was the point of this video? I don't know. Don't do Inktober. When it comes to daily challenges, I would say don't take it too seriously. If you don't complete it, it's not the end of the world. Just go with the flow and see where it takes you. That attempt I made to draw every day wasn't for nothing. I gained a better grasp of the human skull, and now if you pay attention to my videos, especially the old ones, a lot of times when I'm drawing ahead, I start off with the skull. Even now, when I'm stuck in a design, I revert back to the skull, which really helps place the eyes inside the sockets instead of just splat. And the early painting practice, I learned so much about Clip Studio Paint's brush system in 3 months than I ever did in the past 6 years. And now I hardly use brushes outside of the ones I make. A failed challenge doesn't mean you're a failed creative. By the way, if you're a producer, like you make music, beats and stuff, do you guys have challenges like these? I'm actually pretty curious. And if you do, have you ever participated? Same with game creators and web designers and web developers. I know animators for a month, I don't know which one, they have this, or they had this, I don't know if they still have it, where they make a 5 or 10 second animation in 30 days. And if you're someone who's not familiar with the process of animation, maybe you think, oh, that's easy, that's not a challenge. No, listen. I'm talking classic Disney, Robert Williams type stuff. Those guys are on a different level. But yeah, if you stayed long enough during this rambling session, if your profession or your passion has challenges like these, let me know. But that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching for so long. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.